They are finally being caught, and what they did to you behind your, my dear child. If you believe in angels, start this video and watch it completely. Angel says this is very serious. Archangel Michael says this message is very important. This is for you. Do not skip this. The forces that have been working against you, the people who smiled at you while hiding knives behind their backs, are finally being caught. Every deceit, every whisper, every action done in secret is now being revealed before the eyes of the authorities. The police have been shocked, and the evidence against them is undeniable. They thought their actions were hidden, that their manipulation, their lies, their betrayals could never be exposed. They counted on your ignorance, on your trust, on your patience. But the divine has seen it all. Archangel Michael has been watching, and the truth has been gathering like a storm. The night they thought was safe for their schemes is over. Their careful planning, the hours spent weaving traps and webs of lies around your life, their manipulation of friends, family, and even strangers to execute their plan has now led them to a crossroads they never imagined. Every document, every conversation, every hidden transaction is surfacing. They believed their darkness was permanent, that the shadows they walked in would never be pierced by light. But God's light cannot be obstructed. Archangel Michael's presence has pierced through their darkness, illuminating every corner, every secret, every hidden agenda. They underestimated the patience of God, the vigilance of the archangels, the sacred protection around you. While they plotted, while they celebrated in secret, while they thought your trust was their shield, every step they took has been tracked. Their lies were like threads in a tapestry. And now the tapestry is being unraveled in full view of the authorities. Every action that was meant to harm you has now turned into a trap for them. Their own deceit, their own cruelty is what has led to their exposure. Michael weeps not in anger for you, but in sorrow for the blindness of those who chose darkness over light. The police, who had been gathering evidence quietly, are astonished by the magnitude of what is unfolding. They never expected such depth of betrayal, such intricate planning to harm a single person. Yet every shred of evidence points to them. Their faces will pale, their confident smiles will fade, and the very people they counted on will turn away in disbelief. God has orchestrated a divine unveiling. Every witness, every piece of hidden information, every confession made in the silence of conscience is converging now. Archangel Michael insists that you read this carefully. Do not skip a single word. Every moment you ignore this message, a door closes to further revelations. The truth is urgent. The truth is pressing. The truth is dangerous for those who believe themselves untouchable. They are finally facing what they tried to hide. The fear they once instilled in you is now reflected back upon them, multiplied, by the justice of God. They thought your silence was submission, that your kindness was weakness, that your patience was ignorance. they were wrong. Every moment you held on to faith, every prayer whispered in secret, every step taken under divine guidance has built a shield around you that no human cunning can break. Their exposure is not only inevitable but necessary. God says you must witness this because it is your liberation. It is your justice. It is the moment when the weight of their deceit is lifted from your shoulders. They cannot hide anymore. Their secret dealings, their attempts to manipulate your life, the plots they devised in shadows and behind closed doors are now the focus of investigators. God says this is not mere coincidence. This is a divine alignment. The timing is perfect. The justice is immediate. The revelations will be undeniable. Archangel Michael's presence surrounds you like a blazing light. He has stood guard over your path. And now he steps forward to announce victory over those who sought to harm you. Even those closest to them are beginning to see cracks in the armor of their lies. Friends, colleagues, associates who were complicit out of fear or greed are now forced to testify. To reveal, to expose what they once tried to hide. Nothing is hidden from God and nothing is hidden from Michael. The layers of deceit are peeling back layer by layer until the full scope of their actions becomes visible. Every hurt they caused, every betrayal, every underhanded move is now part of a chain of evidence that cannot be ignored. If you'd like to donate or show your appreciation, you can give a super thanks up to $100. You, my child, are safe. God emphasizes this repeatedly. Nothing will go wrong with you. Your safety has been assured since the beginning, even as they tried to weave darkness into your life. The divine foresaw every step they would take, every lie, every betrayal, every attempt to manipulate outcomes. And so your path was protected, your prayers answered, your soul shielded, from the full impact of their schemes. Archangel Michael cries not out of anger for you, but in response to the intense relief that justice is finally being served. Prepare yourself, for the revelations may be overwhelming. You will hear truths that will shake your perception of people you trusted. You will witness actions that were done in secret that no one would ever have believed. But God says this is necessary for your spiritual growth, for your liberation, for your understanding of divine justice. Nothing in this exposure is meant to harm you. Everything is meant to illuminate, to protect, to free you from the shadows that others tried to place upon your life. The authorities will move swiftly now. Michael emphasizes urgency. Every document, every testimony, every hidden file will converge. The truth will emerge faster than they anticipated. The individuals who acted against you will experience consequences that are immediate, severe, and unavoidable. The fear they once instilled in you will now become a reality for them. Their own anxieties, their own lies, their own secrets will weigh upon them as heavily as they intended to weigh upon you. God says, "My beloved child, listen very carefully, for this is not just another message." Archangel Michael stands before you right now. His wings trembling, his voice breaking because the urgency of what I am revealing to you cannot be delayed. You have been patient, you have endured, and you have prayed. And now the time has come for justice, for the unveiling of what has been hidden for so long. The forces that have plotted against you, those who have laughed in secret and believed you would never see the truth, are finally being caught. What they did in darkness has made even the highest authorities gasp in shock. This is a moment that you have been waiting for, even if you did not know it. Archangel Michael himself has fought tirelessly to protect you, to shield your spirit from the deception, betrayal, and manipulation that has surrounded you for so long. And now the light of truth is piercing through every shadow, exposing all that has been done behind your back. You must understand, my child, that nothing has been missed. Every whispered lie, every hidden scheme, every act of malice, every single one of them has been seen. The divine eyes have watched. And even when your heart acted in silence, and even when you felt alone, I was there observing, protecting, and preparing the moment when the truth would rise like the dawn breaking the night. Do not underestimate the importance of this moment. This is not ordinary. This is a turning point, a divine intervention that will change the course of your life in ways you have not yet imagined. The forces that have conspired against you are being dismantled one by powers beyond human understanding. And you, my precious child, are at the center of this revelation. Archangel Michael, whose sword has been your shield, whose tears have fallen for you when no one else could see, is here to deliver you from the web of deceit that has entangled your life. He cries not in despair, but in fierce love, in righteous anger against those who have tried to harm you. Listen to his voice. Feel the intensity of his warning. For skipping this message would be a mistake your soul would remember for eternity. They believed they could manipulate, deceive, and steal from you without consequence. They thought that the shadows would protect their secrets, that the whispers behind closed doors would remain hidden forever. But God sees all, knows all, and justice is now descending upon them, the police, the authorities, those entrusted with upholding law and order have uncovered evidence so shocking, so damning that even they are astonished. The truth that emerges is heavier than any burden you have carried. Yet it is precisely the revelation that will lift you, that will clear your path and restore the balance of your life. Archangel Michael has been guiding the hands of those who seek justice, ensuring that the darkness cannot escape the light. Every betrayal, every act of treachery is now being brought into the open. And you, my child, are about to witness the culmination of patience, prayer, and divine protection. I know your heart has been heavy, your mind restless with questions, your soul weary from watching others act with cruelty, selfishness, and deceit. But the day of reckoning is here. You will see faces of those who have wronged you. You will hear the truths they tried so desperately to hide. And you will finally understand the magnitude of what they attempted against you. Archangel Michael stands at your side, his presence stronger than ever, his tears of love and sorrow streaming as he prepares you for what is to come. Do not ignore his voice. Do not turn away. For every second betrayal were allowed to linger for so many nights, for so many tears. But understand this, my child, every moment of waiting was necessary. Every test, every trial, every whispered deceit was a thread in the tapestry of your ultimate revelation. Now, as the pieces of the puzzle fall into place, you will see the brilliance of divine planning. The authorities, my child, hear me now with your heart wide open, for this message carries weight beyond human understanding. And it is meant for you alone. What I am about to reveal has been hidden from you for far too long. Those who conspired against you, who plotted secretly and whispered behind your back, are finally being exposed. Archangel Michael stands beside me. His sword of light drawn, his tears of fire and compassion blazing for you, because he has seen your suffering and your patience. This is not a trivial matter, nor is it something to be delayed. The forces that sought to harm you, to deceive you, to rob you of your peace, are being confronted by divine justice, and the timing is now. Do not dismiss this message. Do not let it pass as ordinary words. Every sentence carries the weight of my divine will. I know the nights you have spent restless. The moments when your spirit felt heavy as if the unseen forces were pressing on your chest, threatening your joy, your prosperity, and your sense of self. They acted under the cover of secrecy, thinking that their actions would remain forever in the shadows. But my eyes are upon all things, and nothing escapes my sight. Every whisper, every deceitful glance, every secret act that was meant to weaken you has been recorded in the eternal ledger of truth. And now, my child, the time of revelation has arrived. Archangel Michael cries for you. He cries because he knows how much you have suffered silently. How often your prayers have gone up, unheeded by your understanding, yet never unheard by me. He is relentless in his devotion to you. And he demands that you listen, that you trust, that you do not hesitate. Those who plotted against you are being caught, and their deception is so profound that it has shocked even those who serve the law of man. The police in their human capacity are stunned at what they are discovering. They are uncovering layers of betrayal, layers so thick and so carefully hidden that even the keenest human eyes would not have seen them. But divine intervention has illuminated the path, and what was hidden is now visible. Do not fear these revelations, my child. Fear is the tool of those who seek to control, to intimidate, to bind you with worry and doubt. You are safe under my protection. You are shielded by the heavenly hosts led by Archangel Michael, who will not permit any harm to come near you. Trust in me, my child. Trust in my timing. The unmasking of these deceivers is not merely for the sake of punishment. Though justice will be served, it is for your liberation, your freedom, your restoration. Every attempt to harm you, every act of jealousy, every plot born of envy and greed will be undone. They will be caught, exposed, and their power over you will be broken forever. Archangel Michael assures you of this with his unwavering strength. He reminds you that no weapon formed against you will prosper, and every chain meant to bind you will be shattered. Your deliverance is at hand. Do not underestimate the seriousness of this message. There are layers to what is unfolding. Layers that your human mind may struggle to comprehend fully. Some of these individuals have acted not merely with ill intent but with darkness that they themselves cannot name. Their actions have brought chaos, confusion, and a false sense of control. But my hand moves to restore balance. My divine light penetrates even the darkest corners, and truth cannot be hidden when I decree it must be revealed. Archangel Michael is not weeping in vain. His sorrow is powerful. It is intense, and it calls you to awaken to the reality that you are not alone, that your protection is unwavering, and that your vindication is near. You may wonder how all this will unfold. The answers are in my hands, my child. I guide the steps of those who serve justice. I illuminate the paths of those who seek truth. And I direct the events that must occur to bring this revelation to completion. The police, the investigators, the witnesses who have remained silent. They are all part of the unfolding plan. What they are discovering about those who harmed you will shake them to their core. For the depth of deception is vast. Yet I tell you now, you need not involve yourself in anger or retribution. Your role is to remain steadfast in faith, to pray, to trust, and to watch as divine justice manifests. Archangel Michael stands as a sentinel over your soul, guarding you from any psychic or spiritual harm, from any schemes designed to derail your peace or prosperity. His wings shield you from every dark intention, and his voice calls loudly, urgently, so that you understand the gravity of what is occurring. This is not a message for the casual observer, nor is it for those who ignore the signs of divine guidance. This is for you, my chosen, my beloved. Do not skip it. Open your heart to it and know that every step forward you take is blessed. Every breath is sacred, and every prayer is heard and answered. The shock you will witness in the unfolding events is necessary, my child. It will awaken you to the reality that deception can never outlast truth, that the righteous will always be vindicated, and that the forces of darkness, no matter how cunning, cannot prevail when the light of heaven is focused upon them. What they tried to do in secret, they cannot hide from the eyes of the divine. Their schemes will unravel with a precision that even human law enforcement will marvel at. And in this you will find not only relief but also a renewed understanding of your place in my plan, your role as a vessel of light and your capacity to rise above every challenge. I know that you may feel a mix of emotions, relief, anger, disbelief, perhaps even a tremor of fear. All of these are natural, for the unveiling of truth often brings an initial shock. Yet I remind you, my child, that fear is not your master. Faith is trust is your anchor. Prayer is your sword. Archangel Michael's presence is your shield. He has watched over you from the beginning, standing ready to strike down every attempt to harm you, to expose every lie, and to lead you safely through this storm. Do not ignore his call. Do not allow hesitation to dull your awareness. This message is urgent because the timing is precise. The unfolding events cannot be delayed, and you must remain spiritually alert to the divine orchestration at work. Every detail that was hidden, every act of betrayal will now come to light. Those who acted in secret believed they were clever, but cleverness without righteousness is always exposed. Archangel Michael is guiding their exposure, and his tears are a reflection of the intensity with which he protects you. He cries because he knows your suffering, because he knows the pain of being deceived, and because he is passionately committed to ensuring that no harm touches your spirit. Your safety is paramount, your freedom is sacred, and the restoration of your peace is guaranteed by the very forces of heaven themselves. Do not worry about the logistics of these revelations, my child. The human world may appear chaotic, confusing, and unpredictable, yet divine guidance shapes every step. Trust that the unfolding events are perfectly aligned with my will. Those who harmed you will face the consequences of their actions. Their exposure will be swift, complete, and undeniable. And you, my beloved, will witness this with clarity, without fear, without compromise, and with the deep assurance that I am with you always. Remain vigilant in your prayers. Speak to me daily. Open your heart fully and let Archangel Michael's presence remind you of your protection. He will not abandon you, and his cries are a testament to his unwavering dedication. You are being guarded by the most powerful of celestial forces. The forces that conspired against you are powerless before the combined strength of divine justice and angelic protection. The unfolding events will also serve as a profound lesson in discernment. My child, you will understand who truly supports you, who wishes you well, and who acts out of hidden motives. The shock of these revelations will not harm you but will strengthen you, refine your spirit, and deepen your faith. You will see clearly the contrast between light and darkness, truth and deception, loyalty and betrayal. And you will emerge not only unharmed but exalted, for your patience, your faith, and your trust in me have been unwavering. Archangel Michael continues to cry, and his voice is a roar of protection. He commands that you listen, that you trust, that you remain focused on prayer and divine connection. The police, the law enforcement officers, the witnesses, all are instruments in my divine plan. Their discovery of the truth is inevitable, and you will witness justice in action. Remember, my child, that divine protection does not merely prevent harm, but ensures that truth triumphs, that light dispels darkness, and that those who act in deceit cannot escape the reach of justice, whether human or divine. You are shielded. You are safe. You are guided. The conspirator's exposure is a direct result of my will, the will of the Father, the unyielding power of truth, and the relentless protection of Archangel Michael. Do not allow your heart to be troubled. Do not allow anger to cloud your judgment. Witness these events with a spirit of faith, knowing that every act of treachery will be unveiled, every deception will be revealed, and your peace will remain intact because it is anchored in the unshakable foundation of divine love and protection. I am with you, my child, now and while some in that house are innocent, one person is holding on to a secret about you. A secret they swore never to reveal. But God is turning their heart. There will be a moment, it is close, when they break, when they confess, when they can no longer hold back what they've known. When it happens, don't be surprised if the message comes in a strange way. It may come through someone you'd never expect. A knock, a note, a whisper, even an anonymous delivery. But it will shake the atmosphere around your home. You need to be spiritually alert because this revelation is both a warning and a reward. A warning about how closely the enemy tried to operate within your orbit, and a reward because your obedience is finally being honored. God says, I saw every time you walked with kindness. I saw how you helped others even when you were bleeding inside. I saw how you stayed quiet instead of defending yourself. And now he says, it's time for vindication. This family holds a piece of your spiritual puzzle. One member among them has carried guilt for years. They were shown something about you in a dream, a warning they didn't speak on, an instruction they were too afraid to carry out. But the Spirit has been stirring within them again. Your face has returned in their dreams. They are being awakened night after night with visions. They are hearing whispers they don't understand. They feel a weight, a divine pressure to come forward. And when they do, your world will shift. Don't think for 1 second this is just neighborhood drama. This is about divine alignment. God has placed you in this location not for comfort but for collision. A collision of truth and timing. The enemy worked hard to distract you from noticing what was right in front of you, but no more. The veil is lifting, the plans are unraveling, and the fourth house is about to be the epicenter of a spiritual shockwave, Archangel Michael says they were warned not to mess with your energy. One among them disobeyed. They dabbled in spiritual realms they didn't understand. They invited something dark into their space, something that watched you. That spirit did not have permission to touch you. Your angels made sure of that, but it lingered, trying to mimic your energy, trying to gather information. But now that spirit has turned on them, and they are terrified. They will come to you. Not just with a message, but with questions. They will ask you things they don't even understand themselves. Be wise in how you respond. Be firm, but be led by the Spirit, because what you say next will either ignite healing or trigger deeper chaos. The secret they reveal will break your heart, but also set it free. You may feel anger at first. You may ask, why didn't they tell me this before? But know this, divine timing controls everything. And even this delay was necessary. Had it come too early, you wouldn't have been ready to carry it. Now you are. Now your spirit is equipped. Now your discernment is strong. And most importantly, now your authority is undeniable. You are not who you used to be when this began. That's why God waited. That's why Archangel Michael stood silent until this hour. Now the message is clear. Prepare yourself. Prepare your space. Pray over your home, especially near your front door and the wall closest to the fourth house. Anoint your property. Speak scripture aloud, because once the revelation comes, there will be a release of spiritual energy, both good and bad, that must be directed. Your angels are ready. But your voice is needed, too. The moment you receive the revelation, you will feel it in your body. A shiver, a heat, a pulse, something in your spirit will confirm this is it. This is what heaven warned me about. And when that happens, know that everything after that moment is acceleration. Doors will open faster. Money that was stuck will begin to flow. People who ghosted you will try to return. Your name will be cleared in places where it was slandered, and opportunities that once passed you by will come back around because the spiritual blockade is being removed. But this message comes with responsibility. You cannot return to how things were. Once truth is revealed, ignorance is no longer a shield. You must step into your full authority. You must protect your energy like never before. You must bless your home daily. And you must be wise about who gets access to your time, your voice, your gifts. Because now you are walking in spiritual knowledge that others don't yet understand. And that knowledge makes you a guardian. God says you are a light in your neighborhood. Your presence shifts the atmosphere. That's why demons near you have been agitated. That's why people have projected their fears onto you. You didn't do anything wrong. You just carry power. And that power exposes what others hide. That's why the fourth house watched you so closely. Some were curious, some were intimidated. But one of them knows exactly who you are in the spirit. And they've been waiting for the moment to approach you. That moment is now. Do not respond with fear. Respond with authority. Speak life. Speak peace. Speak protection. You are not alone in this. Archangel Michael is posted at your door. Gabriel is standing at the intersection. Raphael is covering your heart. And your guardian angel has already mapped out the conversation that's coming. You will not stumble, you will not be shaken. You will be bold because you were born for this. God says your location is not a coincidence. He placed you exactly where this revelation could reach you. He allowed the tension because he knew you could handle it. You are a breaker, a truth bearer, a light bearer, and this is your hour. Everything hidden is coming to light. The family in the fourth house will not be able to suppress it anymore. What was spoken in secret will now echo in the spirit. What was planned in the dark will now be judged in the light. Watch what unfolds over the next few days. Dreams, visions, sudden shifts. You will feel like you're walking through a spiritual movie. But don't be confused. This is not fiction. This is fulfillment. Prophecy is activating in real time. You are stepping into your role as a spiritual leader whether you asked for it or not. And yes, it will feel lonely at times. But you are never alone. Heaven backs you. Angels walk with you. And God has chosen you to stand as the intercessor between light and darkness. This moment was always coming. You just didn't know it would come this way. But now that it has, walk boldly, speak carefully, pray deeply, and trust fully because this is not just a message. It is a turning point. It is a gate into the next dimension of your purpose. And it begins with what's about to be revealed from that fourth house. Finally, God says, I love you too much to let you stay blind. That's why I sent this message. That's why I gave Michael the order to speak. That's why I delayed the judgment so the truth could reach you first. Now that you know, act. Now that you see, pray. Now that you've heard, rise. This is your hour. Do not ignore it. The revelation is already in motion. Prepare for the shock. Prepare for the truth. Prepare for your freedom. And now heaven has moved. The sword has fallen. The trap she set for you has been broken, but not without divine confrontation. The angels of the Lord intercepted the snare. The conversation she planned to use against you has been spiritually reversed. What she meant for harm, what she thought you'd never find out, what she hoped would destroy your name, has now become a divine weapon of justice in your favor. But listen closely. Though the trap didn't succeed, the war is not over. What happens now is the part you must be most awake for. The exposure has begun and it cannot be reversed. The woman has been unmasked in the spirit. Her plans have crumbled. Her lies are trembling. The fake light she wore is fading, but this is when she becomes the most dangerous because now she's desperate. Now she knows she's losing access. Now she knows you're awake. And desperate spirits will do anything to preserve the illusion, even if it means creating chaos, confusion, guilt, or false reconciliation. Do not fall for it. If you'd like to donate or show your appreciation, you can give a super thanks up to $100. The tears may be real. The apologies may sound sincere. The timing may look divine, but it's all a cover, because once a mask is removed, the enemy's last resort is sympathy. But this is not the time to rescue her. This is not the time to second-guess the message. This is the time to stand with holy strength and say, I choose obedience over comfort. I choose clarity over confusion. I choose purpose over people. The atmosphere around you has shifted permanently. Things may feel strangely quiet. You may feel a hollow space where connection once lived. That's not loneliness. That's divine vacuum. Heaven has swept your environment. Angels have purged what was contaminating your anointing. This feeling of loss is the sound of deliverance. It's the price of clarity. But in this clearing, God is planting something you never thought you'd experience again. Peace. Not the fake peace where you had to keep pretending. Not the uneasy peace where you were walking on spiritual eggshells. This is the deep true soul-level peace that only comes after war. The war over your life has been raging for months. In the spirit, there were councils of darkness that discussed how to weaken your power. Your name came up in rooms of both heaven and hell. They knew what was on your life. That's why the attacks came so silently, so deceptively, so emotionally. The enemy didn't want to destroy you by force. He wanted to get you to destroy yourself through misplaced trust, emotional ties, and spiritual distraction. And the woman God just exposed, she was one of the enemy's favorite tools. She nearly succeeded. There were nights you almost turned your back on your calling because of how exhausted she made you feel. There were mornings you woke up confused about your purpose because she introduced self-doubt into your most divine spaces. She used flattery as a leash. She offered help, but it always came with a hook. And though she said she loved you, it was never love. It was envy disguised as empathy. She needed to stay close so she could study your power and mimic your favor. But mimicry is not mastery. What God placed on your life cannot be copied. She tried to become you but failed. She tried to sabotage you but heaven intervened. And now as she scrambles to recover, God says, let her go. Do not look back. Do not text her. Do not explain yourself. Do not negotiate. This is not abandonment. This is obedience. Obedience is messy sometimes. It makes you look heartless. It makes you feel cold. But this isn't about ego. It's about elevation. And if you truly want the next season God promised you, then you must accept this next truth. Some people are only loyal to your silence. The moment you begin speaking truth, they begin wearing against you. That's why she's been reacting the way she has. Because your awakening threatens her position. Your boundaries dismantle her manipulation. Your clarity is a mirror she can't stand to face. She had a role in your old story, but your new chapter has no room for counterfeit characters. And God has torn that page. This is the page of newness. This is the season of sudden reversals. This is where the very thing she tried to take from you returns with interest. This is when people who walked away from you because of her lies begin to see the truth and come back apologizing, broken, weeping, not because you asked them to return, but because heaven reordered their sight. What she tried to bury, God is resurrecting. What she tried to curse, God is blessing. What she tried to twist, God is straightening. And the very place where she hoped you'd be humiliated will become the very ground of your public honor. But be wise, though the exposure has happened spiritually, some parts of this unraveling will happen slowly in the natural. She may still appear composed. She may still hold influence. She may still carry an audience, but none of it is real anymore. God says her time is finished. Her voice is void. Her favor is counterfeit. Do not be distracted by her temporary platform. Her fall is in progress. And when it happens, you will be tempted to feel guilt, to doubt your discernment, to step in and rescue. But you must not. This is the fulfillment of heaven's justice. What you are witnessing is not cruelty. It is cleansing. God has been merciful for too long. The lies went on too long. The manipulation stole too much time. But now time has caught up with her and she can no longer outrun the truth. As for you, you are stepping into a new alignment, a new protection, a new clarity. Things will begin happening quickly now. God will open new doors in the next 7 days that were locked for years. You'll see opportunities that bypass everyone else and land directly in your lap. Not because of luck, not because of charm, but because you finally passed the test of spiritual maturity. You listened. You obeyed. You walked away. You believed heaven even when everything around you said stay. And for that, heaven is rewarding you with accelerated favor. The kind of favor that makes others say, "I don't know how you got that, but I know it was God." Archangel Michael now speaks to your spirit and says, "You are safe. You are protected. You are clear. You are covered. You are no longer deceived." He stood guard while you slept. He wept when you doubted yourself. He fought for your destiny when your hope nearly collapsed. And now he rejoices because the trap failed. The counterfeit has been exposed. The divine has triumphed. And your legacy is intact. There will still be tests ahead. There will still be whispers from the shadows, but you will not fall for them because now you see, now you know, now you walk with eyes wide open. Now your spirit cannot be seduced by soft lies and sweet words. You carry discernment like a sword. And no counterfeit will come near you again. Heaven is proud of you. Not for being perfect, but for being willing. For trusting again. For obeying through the shaking. For walking even when afraid. You've made it through the hour of exposure. And now finally, you enter the hour of elevation. If you believe in God, type Amen. Archangel Michael says, do not ignore this under any circumstance. What you are about to discover will shift your understanding, clear away the illusions, and place you face to face with a revelation that was never meant to remain hidden. This is about the fourth house next to yours. Yes, that house. The one that never really caught your full attention. The one whose silence concealed more than you could ever imagine. That family has been keeping a secret. And that secret is no longer safe within the walls of their home. The time has come for it to be exposed. This is why heaven pulled you here. This is why your spirit stirred without knowing why. Because something is unfolding that involves you directly. And God will not allow you to be blindsided. God says, my beloved, I need you to listen carefully now. Do not be afraid. Do not let your mind run wild with panic. You are safe. You are protected. You are surrounded by angels. But this message cannot be delayed because the moment is now. The people in that house have been watching you, not with eyes of hate, but with hearts full of something unresolved. They know something about you that you do not yet know. And though their intentions were once tangled in fear, guilt, and uncertainty, they are preparing to come forward. Not because they are ready, but because I, the Lord your God, am moving through their home and shaking the silence that held the truth hostage. You are going to hear something that will catch your breath. Something that will feel almost too heavy to believe. But I will walk with you through every moment of it. You will not collapse. You will not lose. You will not be destroyed. You are being prepared, not punished. You are being elevated, not embarrassed. This revelation, though shocking, will open the doorway to something greater. What was hidden in the dark is being pulled into the light. And I am the light. You are not being harmed. You are being helped. Archangel Michael stands in front of you now, his hand stretched forward, commanding every spiritual force that has tried to harm you to step back. He has encircled your home with a ring of fire that no weapon can penetrate. He says they almost got away with it.